It's a shame because most of us will spend the majority of our lives in repair mode, improvement mode, striving mode, struggling mode, seeking, wanting, desire, lust, greed. Why, did you ever ask yourself, why is there such this strong compulsion to obtain, to get, to achieve? And a part of us, yes, it's our inbuilt mechanism, a survival mechanism, in order to motivate us to continue the species. First of all, I question how necessary that is this day and age. You know, back in the day, yeah, you probably did need children to tend the farm or defend a plot of land and fight. But today that is not so necessary, but yet we're still ruled and dominated by the same compulsions. This strong compulsion to procreate, to obtain, to hoard. And the same rules, biological rules, really have been turned upside down with modernization and the Industrial Revolution. And yet we still, to a certain degree, abide by those same rules. Now, a lot of it is really effective programming, indoctrination from a very young age to be another cog in the wheel. And other parts of it is just the biological enslavement, that we're just enslaved to our biological impulses. Most people don't realize what even motivates them. And they don't use logic or reason to discern if this biological impulse serves me or is actually harming me. So that's something that really needs to be, I think, assessed on a regular basis, is what's behind my desire, what's behind my needs and my wants and my never-ending compulsion to obtain and get more. What's at the root cause? That's the first thing. And the second thing is that I made a video earlier about some people are beyond help. That there are some people that will just drain us of our life energy in our efforts to trying to heal them or fix them or make them into better people or solving their problems or rescuing them. And some people, their brains are so hardwired, and it's such an ingrained habits that they have. In the Matrix, the one scene with the woman in the red dress, I love the line where it says, you can't free. Neo's looking at all these people, and he says, you can't free them. They're too inured in the system, in the Matrix. And he even goes as far as to say that, after a certain age, they don't even bother trying to pull people out of the Matrix. And while that's very helpful in dealing with other people, I think it's also helpful in dealing with ourselves. Because what we try to do is we are imprisoned by our minds, by our thoughts, by our just our own personal neuroses that we have picked up from a young age, and that's just part of the game of being a human being. We're all a bit neurotic. Some of us are, on the extreme end of the scale, while other of us are slightly neurotic. But there's illogical, irrational, destructive tendencies in all of us. And what we try to do, those tendencies and those impulses are the prison which keeps us trapped. And we spend our whole lives trying to break out of this prison, trying to fix ourselves. Or if we don't try to break out, we try to make the prison as hospitable or as pleasing as possible. We put some pictures, we decorate it, put a potted plant, and think all is okay. And that's part of what society tries to do. The materialism and all these things try to help you decorate your jail. oh, you need this car, you need this technological gadget, you need X, Y, and Z. Because you're not happy, you're in jail, and these accoutrements will help you, at least enjoy your prison stay. Now, I'm not speaking of prison in the traditional sense where we're like slaves and we have no freedom. I'm speaking as self-imposed prison, the prison of the mind, the prison of the ego and thoughts. And what most of us try to do unsuccessfully is we spend a lifetime trying to break free and break out of this prison. And what tools do we use? Well, the ironic thing is the same thing that's keeping us trapped in this prison or in jail is the same tool that we use to try to break out. And that's the mind, the ego, the thoughts, the desires. And it's like trying to have the warden, using the warden the warden is your jail keeper, and relying or trying to get the warden to set you free. He's the one who's keeping you enslaved. You need to look elsewhere. And so within ourselves, we are constantly looking at our minds and our thoughts and our ego to set us free. Okay, I need to read this book, or I need to do this, I need to fix myself here. And it's so mind dominated that it just further ensnares us and further locks us in this prison. So, what's the answer? I think the first thing is, just like some people are beyond help, I think the ego and mind is beyond help. I think that we spend too much time trying to fix ourselves, trying to get our needs, wants, and desires satisfied, that it's like puts us in quicksand. It only enslaves or inures us further. Okay, I need to do this, I need to do that. Oh my God, I read this book, this self-help book, and it says I should do this, and I need, it's this constant self-critiquing, self-improvement, and it's very Western thinking. And I think one of the best ways, just like a little child that is throwing a temper tantrum and trying to persuade the parent to get them what they want, the ego and the mind, will throw temper tantrums, and will throw darts at us. It's constantly throwing darts, trying to, which usually gets us riled up, and we follow that line of thinking. Oh, okay, my mind or my ego says I need to do this, I need to do that. And we're constantly judging ourselves and critiquing ourselves and setting up all these rules and regulations to make ourselves better. Now, just bringing this to the conscious awareness is an immense help. So what's the solution? The solution is surrender. Plain and simple. And it's saying, you know what? I know my mind, I know my ego's crazy, I know it doesn't act rationally a majority of the time, and I'm just going to allow it to be. And usually when it starts acting up, it looks externally at, oh, we didn't get this happen, or this person was rude, or this situation didn't work out, or I'm upset. We always have a reason. I'm upset, ... because. I'm angry, ... because. And sadly, this only, again, keeps us further enslaved, because why we're upset, why we're angry, why we're sad is really never the reason that we think it is. And it only leads us in this maze, this circular maze that we can never escape, because we're always blaming something outside ourselves or external. Instead of trying to obey the mind, follow all these things, is just surrender. I am the way I am. My mind, my ego tries to dominate my life, and I'm just not going to pay attention to it. I'm just going to allow things to pass, like a cloud passes, like a storm passes, like everything in life passes. Eckhart has a great saying, this too will pass, and I'm sure it's not originated from Eckhart, but all that chaos and that drama, don't get tugged into it. Allow yourself some space and gap and just simply be.